Welcome back, guys, to the Watch and Cut channel. My name is Alex. I'm your host, and tonight we got something really cool to talk about. This watch has already hit the internet. It's already been sold out, so if you're looking to buy one of these, I recommend you go on Casio's website. Go ahead and subscribe to their email. As early as today, way after they've been sold out, I got an email that a few were released. So, yeah, if you're interested in one of these, go ahead and do that so you can be up on when they release some more. Now, I don't know how many they're making. According to the first drop, it's about 4,000 of these. We're going to be talking about the CASIOTRON, as you can see. This is their 50th anniversary watch. And the original one came out in 1974. This was Casio's first watch. So to kind of commemorate the 50-year anniversary, they remade one of their classic watches, but they really decked it out with some really cool tech. And we'll talk a little bit about that in just a minute. As you can see, you got your model number here. Kind of an underwhelming box for such a release. But, you know, I kind of, Casio and G-Shock are obviously, part of the same brand and everything. But this one has a lot of G-Shock DNA. And when I say G-Shock, I'm not talking your typical household G-Shock. I'm talking your more higher end stuff like these. The all-metal G-Shock. Here's the titanium guy right here. These have these modules that are Bluetooth capable. They can link up with your phone with an app, and you can actually set the time and everything right there on your phone. You can set your alarms. You can set everything with your cell phone, so you don't have to fiddle with the buttons, which is really cool. So that's one capability that this module has, which I always thought was really cool. It's got the, if you kind of lean the arm a certain direction, the backlighting will turn on. It's got a feature like that. I don't think I have it turned on this one. This one, the titanium one, I think I do. But anyways, maybe not. So, but it's got that. It's got an updated backlighting, which is really bright. And it's a very smooth transition. There's a lot. I don't know, 240 plus different city time zones. They are super grab-and-go watches. They take the beating. They keep on ticking. And then they announced this. Now, this watch was more of something delicate, right? This was a quartz watch that, came out in the mid-70s. And that's during the Quartz Crisis, which you guys can look that up if you want. So they came out with the CASIOTRON. So this release is pretty much that same watch. I did look it up on the internet just to see kind of what it originally looked like. And it does indeed look exactly like this one. So here's the box. And, you're going to pull this guy out here. What do we got? Oh, plastics. Here's the tag. So I bought this one second hand. I bought it used because I missed the original drop. I wasn't going to wait till another one came out. So I just wanted to snag one. I paid like a $75 markup. No big deal on eBay. And yeah, it came as described. So good on me. So as you can see, yeah, that is how much this guy costs. Now, a lot of videos I've seen already, a few people that got theirs before mine. Yeah, a lot of people saying that's a steep price for this thing. And you know what? I don't disagree. It is. But I did a little something different. This box is actually completely empty. I just wanted to go show you guys the packaging. I've actually been wearing this thing. I took it out already just for about maybe 3 or 4 days. No, 2 days. I take that back, 2 days. So here it is, this beautiful watch here, the CASIOTRON. Super shiny. That band is so 70s. Kind of an interesting size. It almost looks underwhelming at first glance, but when you look at it up close, it's almost like a jewel. I mean, all the fine polishing and everything, and the articulation on the bracelet is not, it almost kind of resembles like what you see on a Q Time X, but it feels nothing like that. This is like actually really nice and fine. It does have the pin and collar system where you have a little collar that'll pop out, so when resizing, keep that in mind. As you can see, I probably found that out one way or another, but it is just such a cool little watch. Now I say a little watch, I think that's something else that some people kind of complained about, is like it's actually advertised as a 39 mil, which it is, but because of that, you know, smaller display here, it's not, it appears smaller, right? And when I originally looked at this case, there was one watch that kind of came to mind, and I don't own it, but I own something of an homage of it. I shouldn't call this an homage to a Rolex, but yeah, that's kind of what it reminded me of first, just kind of first glance, you know, but except, you know, it's got this cool digital retro look. So for me, right off the bat, a little underwhelmed, but then the more I glanced at it, I started to really like it. You got a lot of like really cool effects with this striated kind of dial there, and everything. I like how it's framed. Yeah, this watch has a lot of detail. All the fine little millworks right around on the inside of the crystal, and just all the dimensions on it. It's just really, really, really nice watch. It is a fingerprint magnet because of all the high polish, but I really don't mind, because that's kind of, I think, the point of this thing. It's supposed to be kind of bright. Now, some of the upgrades that they did to it is kind of the same thing I mentioned with those guys. They went ahead and gave this the Bluetooth capability, so you can go on your phone and you can actually change the time and program this thing, which I already did. As far as the clasp, it feels really, really nice. It's not one of those stamped ones. It actually looks like a milled clasp. And yeah, very positive click. Everything's very easy to slide on and off.
That's what she said. That's what she said. That's what she said.
Lots of articulation on it. And you get 3 micro adjusts. So 4 micro adjusts is always preferable, but 3 is just fine for me, because you have all these fine links, so you can really kind of fine tune the way the watch wears on you. So that's pretty cool right there. So it is an atomic timekeeping watch as well, which means it'll pick up the towers. I think the nearest one to us is here in Colorado. You got more little module computer information. This one's in French too. Look at that. Here's the American one. What to do if your watch stops working? Send it to Casio. Here's your warranty card. Here's more information on the module. This one's kind of like a newspaper. It's not a nice book like the other one. So that's kind of the Casio-esque of it, right? Like the packaging is but it does kind of have like the little pouch like a G-Shock does. Now, there are some other things we should talk about as far as the specs of this thing. And I'm just going to mention it because everybody else does. By the way, here's the box. Kind of nice. Little anniversary box, but you know, it's kind of simple, right? It almost looks like the stand at Walmart with all the little Casios there, right? Like, it doesn't give you much of a, wow, you know, I spent $500. Now, $500 is a lot of money, and that's one of the critiques of this thing. But I kind of started to feel after I wore it for a couple days that I actually think the price is pretty well merited. And, you know, that's a subjective question. And the reason why I think the price is merited is because, frankly, I paid like a slight markup, and I'm extremely happy with my purchase. I love looking at it. I love wearing it. It functions really well. It's really easy. I mean, it's just like a G-Shock. You really don't do anything to it other than just wear it and make sure it gets some light. Now, there is one thing about this. It is a solar watch. So it's solar powered, which means you don't have to change batteries on it, just like the G-Shocks here. Yeah. Another cool thing, it does have, like the other G-Shocks, it's got that beautiful transition lighting. And I just really appreciate that little detail. I don't know why it means a lot to me, but it just does. And this one does do the wrist flick. You just kind of got to get the right angle. And I think under the camera, it's a little hard. Oh, and you know what? This one also has a light sensor. That's the reason why. So you have to be in the dark, and then when you flick your wrist, it does turn on. Let's put it to the test, shall we? There you go. That's a little wrist flick. And again. Yep, not touching any buttons. So this thing's got a light sensor, so it does know when it gets dark, and it'll turn that feature on. And I'm assuming it turns it off otherwise to keep battery and all that stuff. So very cool. Yeah, just a super cool watch. Now, here's a couple of the other things people mention. The water resistance is only 50 meters. Now, some people say, oh, you know, 50 meters. I mean, you know, you can dive pretty far down. 50 meters is pretty low. In all honesty, a lot of people I've heard from reputable watch people say, you know, 50 meters means you can pretty much wash your hands with it and not worry about it getting wet in that way, do dishes, maybe get away with a shower, but I wouldn't go swimming in a pool with it. And that's the most un-G-Shock thing about this thing, is that, yeah, it doesn't really have much water resistance. And as a grab-and-go watch, I'm not saying give it 300 meters of water resistance, but how about 100, you know? Which, honestly, in the watch world is not very difficult to accomplish. The other thing that people were kind of tweaked about is that, unlike some of these other G-Shocks, this one has a mineral crystal, not quite a sapphire. And for $500, that was another thing that people said. Now, personally, I think that the mineral crystal was kind of chosen on purpose, not to really cut corners, but that would be what you would find on a 1970s watch. So for me, it just kind of goes with the theme. It's kind of a dress watch, but I think it's a little too gimmicky looking to be like a full purebred dress watch, but it's just kind of a fun, cool retro toy to me, and I really, really like it. So yeah, if you guys can find one, I would say go ahead and grab one. I don't know what the production idea is going to be with these, if these are just going to kind of float around, or if these are just going to be one run and done. So if you like it, you know, go ahead and go grab yourself one off of eBay or wherever you may find one on the watch groups. So I think that'll about do it for tonight. If you guys have any questions, leave comments and questions down below. Please hit that bell icon so you don't miss anything. Please subscribe to the channel, as it helps me tons. And for now, this is Alex from the Watch and Cut channel, out.